earlier, I said the same thing. People would say, oh, where's the price of Bitcoin goes down? And then, Ethereum might take over, or something else might take over. Like, bro, if the price of Bitcoin goes to zero, bro, whatever the fuck you're holding is in minus. You understand?
We tried to say that.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, thank you very much. We always say Satoshi is female. I have a shirt, Satoshi is female. It's like no one knows. Okay, so let's look in the crystal ball now. Post ETF, post halving, post. What's the future of Bitcoin in your opinion?
I believe
the future is Bitcoin.
Yeah, the future is Bitcoin. I just believe that more and more people are going to start to realize that as either a currency, whether you want to call it sort of value, medium exchange, whatever you want to use Bitcoin for. What's happening now is obviously layer 2s, layer 3s, this kind of stuff that's happening. People will start to innovate more with Bitcoin because it will just be pointless to jump around in all of these different groups. These 2 million plus different groups that are on CoinMarketCap nowadays, when you could just use one. What's the point? Don't confuse yourself, don't use your portfolio.
Not a financial advice.
Yeah, so I'll set some I work on. I work on Lightning infrastructure. As I said, Bitcoin's quite hard to use right now. You've got to wait 10 minutes to launch, you'll wait probably an hour before it's set up. But we're now coming into the layer 2. So the ones that interest me are Lightning, another one that I work on Mercury, which allows instant settlement. And that ability to pay for things in real time, instantly, I think is going to change. I also work on another project in Africa called Civic. The ability to trade peer-to-peer, without custodial risk, without escrow challenges. I think that's going to grow. I think as the on-off ramps become harder and harder, people are going to look for ways in the peer-to-peer space to trade with each other. But I think that's where we're going to see it. Maybe we're going to talk less about Bitcoin as the Bitcoin layer 1 gets pushed down the stack, and we're going to layer 2, layer 3. That's why I see the innovation.
Welcome with your buddy and the other Elizabeth of Bitcoin and say it's never too late to buy Bitcoin. I think it was exciting to see that this bull run, people start to come back to it. And we've been selling Bitcoin for 10 and a half years, and we saw a huge flight to stablecoins these last 2 years. And I'm just a journalist. I just report what my customers ask for. I don't push everything on them. And that came in a much bigger way than I've ever seen Bitcoin adoption. And again, I think it was a half step for a lot of people, which makes you realize how early we still are. People still want that baby step. They're not ready to go all in, and so we have a long way to go. And I agree, I'd love to see a P2P model. We're fighting, same thing, we're fighting with the mobile money providers who, are very oligopolistic. So, taking that half step towards that. I think what we're going to see is continued use of Bitcoin as a store of value, especially as we go forward and see so many different financial products expand. People still come back to this idea, and it's held for 10 years, more than any other coin or token. And I think the other exciting thing we see is that it drives the belief in the wider system. And so people feel comfortable kind of expanding out from beyond that, but it's not practical to use it for payment transactions as a level 1. And I think we're going to see continued use of that, and we have a lot more way to go.
Helen, to add to your crystal ball question and to conclude as well, can you also tell us what strategies are people taking in the space to enhance the storytelling? I mean, storytelling was amazing 3-4 years ago, but still you have people on this earth that do not have an idea what Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrencies are. So how is the storytelling different? I see a lot of my friends who never asked me a question 3-4 years ago, now they're asking questions. So how do we keep up with what's happening in the community, and how do we leverage that?
Yeah, one of the reasons I started up on Block was precisely that, to do the storytelling around what these technologies are, what Bitcoin is, and what related technologies are, and to try and help people understand them better. And for sure, the kind of widespread questions that you get now, and people that actually know different types of cryptocurrencies and mention them in a way that, 10 years ago they were, what is Bitcoin, or what is blockchain? I didn't realise that blockchain and Bitcoin are two connected things. So that's really, really changed. So people all of a sudden come up to you and they start talking about Ethereum, they start talking about other cryptocurrencies, and they actually know quite a bit about the different consensus mechanisms, and there's just much more general knowledge, I think. But for most people, it's about use. So it's how is this actually useful to me? What can I do with it? Maybe it's an investment. So I do still think that Bitcoin will be digital gold. It will be something that people invest in as a store of value, and I don't think that will ever change. will only get better. The innovation that's happening on the layer 2, I think, is really interesting. Will we now have more, opportunities to use Bitcoin more for retail payments? Because it is still difficult, even though you're a very early adopter, and a lot of other people in this room are, and they want to try and use Bitcoin wherever they can. But it's not something that is easy to use on a day-to-day basis for anything that the ordinary average consumer can use. So trying to kind of get people to see this from where they are in terms of, well, look, why would Bitcoin be useful to me? Why would I want to have it? Or why would any cryptocurrency be useful to me? And the fact that it has other potential benefits than simply, being an investment vehicle. That's the area we need to educate people further. But I love finding examples of Bitcoin use around the world. There's a lot of different examples that we can use now to show people what's happening.
Well, a round of applause for our amazing panel. Thank you for coming. Now we're going to go with questions from the audience. Please, there is no such thing as a question. Ask them all, to be honest. So please.
We saw with the Bitcoin forks in the past, I looked at regulations for the ETF. The ETF doesn't mention the forks at all. So with the next fork.
Oh, with the Bitcoin forks that will be happening and everything like that in the future, how will that affect the ETF? Because I haven't seen forks written into any of the ETF regulation language. Or is it just addressing the actual price of Bitcoin?
Do you mean the halving or do you mean forks?
Forks.
Forks. So, this is maybe a bit of a loaded question because it's the same as about kind of asking why isn't the Ethereum ETF been approved yet, right? So Bitcoin forks are not really considered Bitcoin, right? So I get what you're saying, that at some point maybe there is all of these other assets or Bitcoin forks, and I've heard this rumor going around that BlackRock's going to fork and do their own Bitcoin and they're going to fool the world into buying Bitcoin from them with their fork. I mean, maybe that's something they do try and do, who knows, right? And I'm not saying that that's what they are, but I don't think the forks are so much of an important conversation at this moment in time, because most of the real players in the industry understand what the difference is between Bitcoin, BCH, and the random version of something that shall not be named, because he shall not be named, right? I'm not going to talk about it. So, security guy, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, exactly. So, I don't think that is going to play a major part in the whole ETF game. The big banks, the big investors, VCs, they all recognize Bitcoin as what it is. And as I said, all blockchains, the forks, longest chain wins, Bitcoin's longest chain, longest about anything else. But as you're saying, later on, actually something to conversation. And
for the first one.
Yes.
No, hi, Bono. What do you say about depression or comparison with CBDCs and Bitcoin? Some all about Bitcoin today, but do you think that CBDCs could rival the Bitcoin?
Okay, I was the chair of the blockchain council in Davos, and it's as painful as it sounds it was. And I heard the word CBDC a jillion times, and I don't have a single example, especially on the African continent, the European continent, where it's actually working. So we have a lot of projects and pilots, like e-Naira, it's nonsense, 6 people use it, if that, people who explain it don't even know how to explain it. So we have a lot of ideas that maybe have press releases, might have white papers written by, consulting companies. We don't have anything actually in use. It's counterintuitive to a central bank's goals, to be honest. So I can't really see why central banks would do it. If you're a small central bank to want to do it, how are you going to do it that has more liquidity?
Yes, coming.
Thank you. My question is for you now and the rest of the panelists as well. We've seen recently that Solana has been exploding in the space, mainly because of meme coins and some of the projects that are being built within the ecosystem. I wanted to ask if there are any other projects that you're excited to see other than Ordinals. Again, no financial advice for a start, right? But as Nick works with building layer 2s, I work with the Stacks ecosystem on their layer 2 solution. I work with Rootstock in my position at CoinScrum. I've worked a lot with all of the different L2s. So for me, I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin L2s, as long as it integrates with Bitcoin somewhere. I spoke to somebody else about this earlier today when I was here, is that, somebody said to me, oh yeah, but if USDT disappears, then, hey, like, what's going to happen to Bitcoin? I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin was worth like 3-4 grand before USDT. So what are we talking about here, yeah? In the end of the day, I think that, this goes back to kind of like the multi-chain question, right? There is clearly that people create stuff, right? So there is room for, yes, multiple projects. Where does the monetary asset lie? Where does the store of value lie? That's what is the most kind of concerning thing. And then where does how people use that store of value to access maybe other types of blockchains or technologies if they wish to do so. So me personally, I support stuff that is within the Bitcoin ecosystem. There's enough going on within the Bitcoin ecosystem for me to have to worry about 2 million other projects that are sitting on CoinMarketCap that could be here today and gone tomorrow. So that's it really for me. Anybody else want to?
I'm just going to change mics with you.
Anybody else want to chime in on there?
You can follow the investment. So from an approach, how much money has already been, what are the sunk costs invested in some of these things, like the mining and the publicly traded mining companies. So you need liquidity in any market if you want price to go up. And you can have all the Bitcoin maxes in the world, but if nobody bought any Bitcoin, the price is exactly the same. That's it. So
That's what it is.
Just a little sweet this way. So I think you have to really think about all the sunk costs that's gone into that, all the education that's gone into it. Best product in general on planet Earth doesn't always win. Most popular wins, and you have a lot of sticky money that's already invested in this. The ETF and the fact that only really the Bitcoin ETF was approved, and you have a whole other way of sticky money that's into this. And that kind of sticky money doesn't come in and out a lot. Pension funds don't switch their investments that often.
And as well, because you asked about Solana specifically, right? Again, all due respect to the Solana team, met quite a lot of the super team and everything. Everyone's cool. I don't have no problems with human beings, right? So, but you got to think about again what I said a little bit earlier, right? So Bitcoin has had 99.99999% uptime for 15 years. How many times has Solana broke in the 3 or 4 years that it's been available? Again, no problem with people that are building on Solana, doing whatever they're doing on Solana, but it breaks. Why would I compare it with Bitcoin?
So, in the words of Michael Scott from The Office, I understood everything you said, but could you just repeat everything again as if you're talking to a 6-year-old? My question really is about what you said, about the perception and popularity and the difference between you have a product that is good or popular, and I just getting into the crypto space about 4 years ago, trying to really understand it. A lot of the education out there is geared towards trading. So it's really understanding crypto only from one of the utilities, which is how can you get a moonshot while playing with crypto. And with that comes a story. Everyone tells you a different story basis. Some are basic, some going into different shots, some are accurate, some are not. Is there an ecosystem of information that allows the regular Joe to understand the space, understand the basic utility of it, and really understand how to become a world changer, as most of us want to build the world for a better place. And this project seems like it's a superhero project, but most of us are in it and we don't really understand what's going on. I'd really be grateful if there's like a
You hit the nail on the head.
It's a point, yeah, thank you. It's a point
Yeah.
where can regular Joe go and understand this big revolution that is happening in changing the world?
Well, Crypto Mondays definitely, right? So one of my my kind of main missions since I've been here, ever since I ever found out about Bitcoin, is to teach as many people about Bitcoin as possible. One of the things that we do at Stacks London is we take people through Bitcoin education first, right? Because even Maxi's like, Nick hates fucking Stacks, right? Yeah, so we try to take people through Bitcoin education first, because fundamentally, some of us most of us that were here, let's say pre-2016, pre-2017, we all understood the fundamentals of the space first. We learned that from being in Bitcoin and learning what Bitcoin was and how it works. So one of the things that I'm fighting for with Stacks London and also with CoinScrum, which I run also, is trying to embed Bitcoin learning into this standardized education system. Because again, we have standardized education for everything else in every other industry. You go to maths, they teach your children how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't say, hey, now you've counted to 10, let's do some calculus tomorrow. Yeah, right? And that's what's happening in the crypto space. People go, oh yeah, Bitcoin, oh yeah, it's the OG, and it started the space, and Satoshi Nakamoto's a mystery guy. Oh, Ethereum, let's buy some Doge. Oh yeah, shit, right, NFTs are going up, let's buy this one. Let's buy the cat, let's buy the dog, let's buy the coop, right? That's what people do, right? And it's all because of what you said. People just see from the outside and say, hey, my mate made money, right? My mate made money. And I often say to people, it's not, I haven't got my hat on today, have I, right? But I often say to people, it's not about getting money, it's about what money you're getting, right? So for most Bitcoiners, it's about us getting this money, which is Satoshi's and Bitcoin. For the average Joe coming in, is how can I buy a mansion tomorrow? And how can I have more USD in my pocket? Why would I want a depreciating currency in my pocket? As you said, you spend Bitcoin all the time, right? I spend Bitcoin all the time as well. Yeah, I'm not afraid to spend Bitcoin, but I also know that I'm saving in Bitcoin over time, right? Yeah. So whether you're doing one of the two, the key thing is to recognize the change that Bitcoin brings about for the monetary system and to recognize it as a monetary asset. Before you recognize those things, you don't have a clue. And you still haven't even touched on the tip of the iceberg of what the network itself is, because people often think that Bitcoin is just an asset. It's an asset and a network, right? Two different things, or part of the same thing.
You want to bring it back to the commodity analogy. You have gold, you trade gold. I also love to wear gold. I love to make jewelry out of gold. I trade with my friends, they give it as a gift. You can save it. It's a cycle. Indian wedding season, gold prices go up. It's a big event. To compare what he just said, you'd also say that you could only trade gold on a very designated track or a single place. That's the difference. It's not only a commodity that you can trade, or you can utilize, or you can build something with, or you can store, or you can move, but it only trades in a certain place. Imagine there were only 10 people in the world, or designated places you can trade this gold, you would feel a lot more confident about where it is, and that's what we have the difference. I think I'm coming from a different place. I was a mom at 30 when I got into this space, and I wanted to start a business that rectified the illiquidity in African currencies. So I did not come at it from a developer perspective. Probably sold more Bitcoin to more people in the first couple of years on the continent than most people. So I come to it as a place where I'm looking to integrate this into my business. I'm looking to integrate this into my life because I was excluded. The people that I was serving were excluded in the traditional marketplace. So, this was available to everybody. And forget being in Africa, even just being a female at 30 trying to run a startup, nobody wanted to invest in us and nobody wanted to. And then you might have seen Nick from Blockchain just stop by before and he was like, hey, let us on LinkedIn. He has been trading with me for 10 years. people in China. Bob Euthey was trading with me back in the day. You know, you have people in Canada. It's also a community, and that's actually quite nice for people that, you know, were excluded. And I used to be, I'm a refugee from investment banking. So, you know, people that were excluded from other areas or self-excluded, you know, connect with each other. And it was pretty incredible that in the first 6 months of me starting my first company, I was invited to meet Barry Silver, and was invited to meet Charles Hoskinson, who we still chat with. And like these guys reached out because they were excited. So like, whether you like these personalities or not, they were excited about something different. Now, of course, we have our little wars in the space about who does what where. But I think the community is exciting. The infrastructure that you're trading on is exciting. Trading it is exciting if you're a trader. And then building beautiful things is exciting. And you know, we do that all completely outside of the things that existed before it. So there's a lot to learn, and I wouldn't be freaked out if you don't want to go super deep into one part of it. There's lots of different aspects to learn about.
Khalid, something, yeah? I'm just gonna add like a 3-second thing. Web3, Bitcoin, Satoshi, all of this, think of it as a movement that's sprung from the people to the people. And that's the difference. The whole, you know, core peer-to-peer thing is that I am able to help you and no one's gonna stop me, you see. And that's why governments and institutions and all the people in power are freaking out. How can they tax that? How can they leverage that? How can they not let you do what you want to do? So maybe when you start with understanding the ethos of this technology, you'll get to see the added value and whatnot as well. And we're being shown from the stage. Thank you very much. We're going to have a conversation. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nat. Really quick, I just have two announcements really quick. One, you guys may have seen there are some papers around with QR codes on them. We are raffling off tickets to a festival in Barcelona. Did you guys see those? And then also, and guys, this is our survey for our Mondays.
You're killing it.
You guys can fill out this survey.
I'm good, how are you doing? Good to see you. Everything's good, can't complain, man.
Of course you can't complain. No one who has been modeling can complain now.
Exactly. Exactly. We're going to be doing interviews in a sec. We'll grab you. Yeah. Sweet. Bless. Yes. Sorry. Hey. Yeah, how you doing, sir? Yeah, I'm good. Michael, bro. Oh, come for a second. Can't mess your white shoes up. Sorry, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. How you doing, bro? Yeah. How you doing, bro? I'm blessed, man. Everything good? Good. Good to see you too, bro. Cool. Hey, how you doing, Dom? You're live streaming. Yeah. Give the bag. Your bag. Okay. Can you show me the little camera bag? I'm gonna get it set up for the interviews. Yeah, for the interviews. Yeah. I'll show you how to set up live as well and all of that later. I just watched a quick YouTube video.
Yeah. What we want to do though is... No way. Yeah, no. So we need a call-out.
Way better now.
Good.
Cool. Oh, that's the mic. Yeah, that's the mic.
Want to take that down?
Yeah, almost. Give me 2 seconds. Cool. Let's just slap this on. Just like that. We've got a beautiful wide lens.
Boom.
Alright, sick. That can stay there. That can stay there. Put that in there. Cool. Yeah, I need to, let me use this real quick. Let's just test it. Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so we're live now, guys.
Boom.
We're gonna get into the interviews just shortly. We're taking a quick break. So.
Interview George at some point.
Okay. Hey, to George.
I'd love to interview you. We're gonna be downstairs, so you just literally go downstairs. For like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see who we're gonna interview, guys. I'm following Mike right now. He's holding everyone's bag in one hand.
No, we're doing interviews. You'll be a good interview, actually. Are you free now?
Let's go, let's go. You see, just like that, we got one. All right, so straight down, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Everyone's enjoying. Okay, everyone's enjoying their lovely, lovely pizza. As you can see.
Dom's meant to be grabbing the food for us.
Thank you. Say hello to everyone. We're live.
Hello to everyone.
Yeah.
What's the name of this?
DJI Osmo Pocket 3.
Yeah. DJI.
DJI Pocket 3.
I'll check.
Yeah? Thank you. Let's go. I'm following the pizza. Let's go. Let's follow the pizza. All right then. Cool. So down the stairs we go. Down the stairs we go. Thank you, bro. Okay, good. And let's pray that the Wi-Fi connection is the same stairs. Okay, so let's situate. Interviews. Yeah.
If you grab these side chairs.
I remember the last day. Yes. I remember the last day. I was there for the last day. It was very, very sad. What are you up to these days, a year later?
Yes. Well, thanks to the network that we expedited through that growth we had there and the exposure we had there, we managed to. Yeah, we're one of few Web3 projects or community projects that are now a community interest company rather than a limited, meaning 6. And second platform is we're now petitioning councils to give us a building where they pick up money than we've ever seen. The first step in what we want to achieve, which is bring all the cool, step back, because the hub was never about us. You saw that yourselves, right? It was never about us, it was about you. And we did that, and people saw us.
We used to tell them off for being too selfless. Yes. Be more selfish. Be more capital.
Money, as we called it, right? Our project. If we get this right, and I'm sure God will help us because we're doing the right thing, we will open Hub 2. We will bring the community together again, and we will bring